At first, it sounds like an insult, a lazy headline, something older generations say every time they don't understand the younger one. Gen Z is getting dumber. But what if this time something actually is changing? Imagine this. A 19-year-old scrolls through thousands of videos a day, jumps between apps every few seconds, absorbs more information in 1 hour than their grandparents did in a week, yet struggles to focus on a single task for 10 minutes. Teachers notice it, employers feel it, even Gen Z themselves admit it. My brain feels foggy. So the real question isn't whether Gen Z is less intelligent. The real question is, what kind of intelligence are we losing? And what kind are we replacing it with? Psychology doesn't say Gen Z is stupid. In fact, that's the wrong word entirely. What psychology reveals is something far more uncomfortable. The rules of intelligence are quietly being rewritten. For most of human history, intelligence meant one thing: focus, deep thinking, the ability to sit with a problem, wrestle with it, and solve it slowly. Schools were built around it. IQ tests were designed for it. Society rewarded it. But Gen Z grew up in a world that never stops talking. Notifications, short videos, infinite scrolling, endless stimulation. The brain adapts to whatever environment it lives in, and Gen Z's environment is the most mentally aggressive one humans have ever created. Psychologists call this neuroplasticity. The brain reshapes itself based on repeated behavior, and Gen Z's brain has been trained for speed, not depth. Think of it like this. Previous generations trained their minds like marathon runners: long attention, sustained effort, delayed rewards. Gen Z's mind is trained like a sprinter: fast reactions, quick pattern recognition, instant feedback. Neither is inherently bad. But here's the problem. Modern intelligence tests still measure marathon skills in a sprinting brain. This is why studies show a strange pattern. Gen Z often performs worse on traditional IQ subtests related to working memory, verbal reasoning, and sustained attention, yet excels at visual processing, multitasking, and rapid information scanning. So when people say Gen Z's IQ is dropping, psychology hears something else: a mismatch between measurement and reality. But that's only half the story. The deeper issue isn't about intelligence, it's about mental endurance. The human brain was never designed to switch tasks every 5 seconds. Each switch drains cognitive energy. Over time, this creates mental fatigue, even when you're not doing anything hard. This is why many Gen Z individuals feel tired without being physically exhausted. Their brains are constantly on, but never deeply engaged. Psychologists call this cognitive fragmentation. Thoughts become shallow, memory becomes weaker, not because the brain is broken, but because it never gets time to consolidate information. In earlier generations, boredom forced the brain to think. In Gen Z, boredom is eliminated instantly, and boredom, ironically, is where deep intelligence is born. When the brain has nothing to consume, it starts creating, reflecting, connecting ideas. But when stimulation is constant, the brain stays in survival mode, reacting, not reasoning. This creates a dangerous illusion, feeling informed without understanding. Gen Z knows about everything, but knowing about something is not the same as knowing it deeply. Psychology shows that depth requires discomfort, confusion, silence, effort, and modern digital life removes all three. Still, this doesn't mean Gen Z is doomed. In fact, psychology suggests something fascinating. Gen Z may have the highest potential intelligence ever, but the lowest access to it. Why? Because the same brain plasticity that adapts to distraction can also adapt back to focus. The same technology that fragments attention can also amplify learning, if used intentionally. The problem isn't Gen Z's brain. The problem is the environment hijacking it. Studies show that when Gen Z individuals practice sustained focus, even for short periods, their cognitive performance improves rapidly, faster than older generations. Their brains are flexible, responsive, powerful, but no one taught them how to protect their attention. Previous generations were protected by default. Fewer screens, slower information, natural limits. Gen Z has no such protection. They must build it deliberately. And this is where psychology gives its final answer. Gen Z's IQ isn't lower. It's untrained, like a high-performance engine running on the wrong fuel. The tragedy isn't that Gen Z thinks differently. The tragedy is that society judges them using outdated definitions of intelligence, while ignoring the mental cost of a world designed to distract. So the next time someone says, "This generation is getting dumber," remember this: intelligence doesn't disappear, it adapts.